Hi everyone, Michael Newton here with Coldwell Banker, and today we're going to dive into one of the most thrilling yet very challenging aspects of real estate, and that's bidding wars. Winning a bidding war is more than just luck. It requires understanding the market, careful planning, and a sprinkle of creativity. Let's embark on this journey together to make your dream home a reality. And stay with me until the end. I'm going to be providing a comprehensive guide on how to win these bidding wars. But before we go any further, if you know anyone who could benefit from this information, anyone that's in the market right now that is going to be purchasing a home, they're likely to get into a bidding war. So feel free to share this video with them. And also, if you want to stay up to date with the latest news and the best tips in the real estate market, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any videos. Okay, before we dive in, let's get a good grasp as to what's going on in Calgary that's creating these bidding wars. And the answer lies really in three things. Number one, and probably the most important, is the fact that we have low levels of inventory. With the large demand that we're seeing and the low levels of inventory, buyers don't have a lot to choose from. And so when a good property comes into the market, it's almost a 100% chance that that home is going to get into a bidding war. So why is there low levels of inventory? Well, as you've probably heard in the news, the migration to Alberta from other provinces across the country, as well as from overseas, has been tremendous. Our population growth continues to increase, and that is leading into huge demand for housing. It's not just affecting the resale market and the new construction market, but it's also affecting the rental market. People want to live in Calgary, and finding a home has been a little bit of a challenge for some buyers in the past couple of years. The other factor to consider is that interest rates, even though they have been increasing, they're still relatively low, and housing prices are one of the most affordable among the major cities in Canada. So with interest rates being at a good level and Calgary prices being lower than most major cities in the country, and still being in a city that's close to the mountains and a safe place to live and all those kinds of things, keep in mind Calgary was ranked number 7 in the world as the most livable city this year by The Economist. So it's still a very desirable place to live and very affordable. And so all those factors combined are creating a landscape for bidding wars in Calgary. Okay, so here are 6 strategies that you can implement in order to ensure that you win a bidding war when you're buying a property in Calgary. Number 1 is know your budget. Make sure that you have a pre-approval in place before you even start looking at properties so that you understand how much you can afford. Having that pre-approval does not mean that you talk to a mortgage broker and you have a casual conversation over the phone and they tell you an approximate number. That's not a real pre-approval. A real pre-approval requires that the buyer and the mortgage broker engage in document exchange where the lender can see income verification, they can do a credit check, they can take a look at any outstanding loans and debts, and make sure that all that information has been provided to the lender so that they can do a comprehensive pre-approval and give you a real number. We've seen it many times where the buyer is not truly pre-approved. They get into an offer situation, their offer gets accepted, and they cannot waive financing because they weren't pre-approved properly. So having a pre-approval in place is one of the most essential parts of this process, but it's a must-have before engaging into writing an offer. Strategy number 2 is work with a local expert. A local expert is somebody that understands the market and knows what properties are selling for so that they can guide you as to whether or not the property that you're looking at in that area has a likelihood of getting into a bidding war or not. They can take a look at market data to understand, have other listings in the area been selling above list price, close to list price, or well below asking price. And those types of statistics are going to help you as the buyer understand whether or not you should be overbidding over the price or not. So make sure that you're working with a local expert, a real estate agent that understands the local market, so that you have the information and the expertise at your side to help you make the best decisions. Number 3 is one of my favorite strategies, and this is to write a personal letter and even provide a personal video to the seller once you're in that competing bid situation. You see, in Alberta, in Calgary, most of the bids are blind bids, similar to what an auction is. What that means is that when you're submitting your offer, you really don't know how much other people are offering. So you don't know if you're in the running or not in the running or anything like that. That's okay. All you can do is put your best foot forward so that you can have the best chance at winning that offer. But to sweeten the deal, you can provide a personal letter stating to the seller how much you've loved their home. Tell them a little bit about your story, about your kids, something personal that will pull on the heartstrings a little bit to say, hey, maybe these guys might not be the highest offer, but let's give them a chance first before we accept any other offer, because they've taken the extra time to really explain their situation to us, and it sounds like they really want this home. And so that's a nice personal touch that buyers can do to help win in a multiple offer situation. Strategy number 4 is about flexibility. Stay flexible with the terms. You see, I've been on the seller side many times where I'm representing a seller, and I've seen offers come in, 10 offers, 20 offers. The highest I've ever seen in my career is 39 offers on one property, and they all came in over a weekend. And you can imagine with 39 offers having to go through each one and the seller trying to understand which offer is truly best for them, because it's not always about price. It's also about the possession date and the conditions and the terms that are in the contract. So as a buyer, you want to be as flexible as possible, especially if you really want that house. What matters here is that if a seller has a preferred possession, other buyers who want the house are very likely to be okay with giving them that possession date. That means that you might have to rent for a little bit, or you might have to stay with friends and family in order to meet that seller's possession date. Also, stay flexible with the conditions. Put the conditions that you really need in the contract. And if you have the financial capability to not have a financing condition, then that's something that you can consider doing. Conditions are important to protect the buyer, but in a multiple offer situation, a seller is going to look at offers that have no conditions or as little conditions as possible. That's favorable to the seller. And so as a buyer, you obviously want to protect yourself and make sure that you have the right conditions in place so that you're not buying a property that has issues or that you might not get approved for. At the same time, if you have the ability and the confidence in the property to minimize the conditions, that is something that you should be flexible on in order to make your offer more appealing. Also, be flexible with the terms. In situations where there are multiple offers, asking the seller to, for example, to clean the property before possession or to make certain repairs before possession and things like that can really work against the buyer in those situations, because the seller is likely to receive offers that not just unconditional, but also that have no terms in them. And when they see a clean offer like that, they tend to be more preferential to the seller. So remain flexible with those terms and conditions, and that will help you increase your chances of your offer getting accepted. The 5th strategy is to provide a strong initial offer. Okay, so how you do that is you work with your real estate agent to ensure that you're doing the market research on property values in the area before making your offer. Make sure that your offer is in line with those property values as well as what's happening in the market. If property values are showing you X and the market is increasing and you're getting into multiple offer situation, then be prepared to offer X plus however much the market is increasing. And also keep in mind how many offers are being presented. Your real estate agent should be able to have discussions with the selling agent to understand how many offers are on the table and who are the agents that are participating with those offers. In fact, it is mandatory for a seller's agent to disclose who the other agents are when the buyer's agent asks for that information to be disclosed. Knowing how many offers you have in place, as well as knowing the market statistics of that particular area, are going to help you as a buyer to craft a strong initial offer that's in line with market value. And then taking a look at the market trends, like I said earlier, if the market is increasing, you want to ensure that your offer is in line with that. Because if you make an offer that's too low, then someone else has a better chance of coming in and making an offer according to where the market is going and winning that property over the buyer. So working with your agent diligently and closely to understand the amount of offers, and the market value of similar properties in the area is going to be essential to providing a strong offer from the beginning. And strategy number 6 is to stay calm and collected. I think this is so important, especially because in Calgary, the bids that we're making are blind. We don't know when we're competing against other agents what those offers are. We don't know what other buyers are willing to pay for a property because that's not being disclosed most of the time. It's important to keep that in mind. When you put in the offer, just make sure that you're putting your best foot forward every time. Then whatever happens. Make sure that you follow the process, that you're patient, and that once we have a response from the seller, if they want to counter the offer or not, then we can make decisions from there. We've had clients that may bid on 5, 6, 7, 8 different properties before they can actually buy one. You can understand how frustrating that is for a buyer, especially families who have kids that need to get into schools and things like that. What we tell them is follow the process. Our clients that follow the process and have the patience and stay calm throughout the process are the ones that tend to have the most success and end up the happiest once they find that home. And that's what we want for all of you. So make sure that you stay calm and you stay patient throughout the process. It will happen. It's just a matter of time and making sure that we follow the process and stick to the plan as we embark on the search for the perfect home for you and your family. Keep in mind that these strategies work synergistically. They work together. These are the 6 strategies that you want to implement all together whenever you're bidding on a property and entering into a competing offer situation. With these 6 strategies in place, you truly increase your chances of winning that home over the other buyers that are bidding on that property. So make sure that as you're going through this video, that you review the 6 parts that we're discussing so that you have a complete understanding of what it takes to win during a multiple bid situation. Winning a bidding war is not a matter of luck. It's a carefully orchestrated situation that requires preparation, understanding, empathy, and strategy. From knowing the local market and forging true connections with the sellers, every detail matters. Your family's dream home in Calgary is within reach. And with these strategies in place, we can make it happen together. If you're looking to make your home buying journey in Calgary successful, let's team up. You can reach me at 403-512-9825 or visit my website at www.michaelnewton.ca. Together, we'll transform your dreams into a new address. If you like this video, make sure to share it with your friends and family and anyone else who might be in the market that you think would find this information useful. Thank you for watching and happy house hunting.